Thank you so much for joining in. If you can share this video, it's a really important statement that it was released. It hasn't been released. It was an intern communicated statement by the Mexican authorities in terms to the meeting that happened, the agreements that have happened between Anthony Blinken, Alejandro Mayorkas, and the Mexican president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador. It is really important for you guys to know what is going to happen with all the groups from now on, and particular with all the in particular what is going to happen with so I am going to basically give you guys a statement in a few seconds. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. The caravan still, it is here, more than almost 5,000. Today it has decreased to 5,000 people in this particular site. That is almost the epicenter right here in Mapastepec, Chiapas. And ultimately, not only that, but it has decreased into 5,000 people. And due to that factor, to the meeting that it was done between the President Andrés Manuel López Obrador and also the Department of Homeland Security Chief Alejandro Mayorkas and also Anthony Blinken, there was an intern statement released by the Mexican authorities between their offices. And this was one of the statements, and I will try to translate as much as I can. Number one, they are saying that this statement, it is released inside of their commission by the Institute of National Immigration. And also these are the agreements in terms to what happened with the meeting with the Mexican and United States authorities in terms to immigration. Number one, they say that they are going to intensify the actions of contention and also the rescue, the humanitarian rescue in the north borders and in the south borders. They will try to decrease the arrival to migrants into the north border and also to increment the contention in the south border in immediate factor. This, what it means is that they are going to try to combat the organized crime in the south borders and also in the north borders, and to contain the migrants of arrival. This due to the mass migration that has been arriving into the north borders unprecedentedly every day. Number two, they're saying also that they are going to realize they're going to there's 3 flights that they're going to come out every week from foreigners of Venezuela to return them back home in an immediate factor. And also these flights also are applicable for people for Colombia and people for Ecuador. These people are the ones that they are not going to be qualifying for entrance into asylum and refugee, also into the United States of America and also in Mexico. So there are going to be 3 flights a week for foreigners of Venezuela and foreigners for Colombia and Ecuador to return them back safely to the voluntary return. That is what it's called. Number 3, they are going to increment the units of buses and also units of buses for transportation from the south into the north for people that qualify for the CBP app and people who qualify for a possible asylum and refugee case. And also number 4, they're going to reinforce the points of control and humanitarian rescue in the highways, and ultimately number 1 in the trains, in the train railroads. This is due to the fact that you guys know how it has incremented the migrants that they have jumped on the back of the trains and have been arriving into the northern borders like we like Matamoros, Piedras Negras, Ciudad Juarez, borders that they're connected to Eagle Pass, Del Rio, El Paso, and so on. And also the contentions that they are mentioning, it is because of the mass trafficking that has been occurring in the parts of Arizona and the parts of the borders of Lukeville with Sonoita. So this meeting that has come about between Anthony Blinken and also between not only Anthony Blinken and also the Department of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, it was basically to have an agreement between them for Mexico to try to contain and try to decrease the arrival of migrants into northern borders. Let's see what happens. Let's see if this is going to be done the way that they're saying it, that it's going to be done, is already gotten out of hand. There's nothing more that it can be done, that the damage has already is irreversible. The damage that they have done, the Biden administration, the disaster that they have created of an inhuman migration all the way from South America into the North America. And let's see how they are going to, the damages are irreplaceable. Really, there's no way to rebuild this. And there's no way to, there's always a start. And on the positive side, I can say there's always a start. But I think that the Biden administration is so under pressure by the American public, also by the opposition, because elections are coming next year, and he's trying to pander to that side of the American audience to see and to tell them that they're actually trying to do something to control the mass migration, and then they're going to flip it and make it believe that it's because of the Republicans that they exacerbated. They have been talking about open borders and it's their fault. I see it as a strategy by the Democratic Party to flip it against the opposition and to ultimately, it's all political, it's all propaganda. It's done all the way to the ending of the year 2023, and now they're trying to start the year 2024 because elections are coming in the next year, and they're trying to win them. So they're pressuring Mexico. I don't know if they came with a monetary agreement. I don't know if they came with some other agreement for the United States to negotiate with Cuba, to negotiate with Venezuela, something to be negotiable. I don't know what happened between the Mexican government and the United States government behind closed doors. We do not know, but this was an intern statement. It is not a communicated statement. It is not a public statement yet. It is an internal statement by the Mexican authorities of what they are going to start doing from now on. So they're going to try to contain the mass migration from the south all the way to the north, and they're going to try to, and also there's going to be a huge contention in the northern borders with Mexico and the United States of America. We don't know if they're actually going to do that. Let's see in the next incoming weeks if they're going to do that. And also, due to this factor, this caravan that is located right here, the Institute of National Immigration has already communicated that they're not going to reopen their operations just because there's a caravan. They're following the law. They are following their statements, and ultimately they're following what their calendar it is about. So basically, they're saying we're not going to reopen our operations just because there's 5,000 people that they want permits. So they are maintaining and they're remaining with their policies, and ultimately now they are following the agreements between Anthony Blinken and Alejandro Mayorkas, which in the past these agreements have been underwater. They have not followed what they said that they were going to follow. They have not done what they say that they were going to be done, and more migrants have died and more migrants have passed away with these policies of the Biden administration, and ultimately not only with the Biden administration, but also with the Republicans, some Republicans that they have not done anything to create some kind of, a clarity of what the policies of the United States are, because some of the Republicans have not done anything. And let's just be honest. A lot of them, they're hiding behind closed doors. A lot of them, they're being paid off. A lot of them, they are comfortable with their monthly paycheck. A lot of them, they don't want to be against, they don't want to go against the current. They're afraid to go against the current. A lot of them, they're part of this corruption and they're just hiding behind a closed door. A lot of them, they're in cahoots and they're in agreement with the leftist progressives. A lot of them, they're just playing the field and they're just, creating a smoke screen that they're patriots, but they're not. A lot of them, they say that they're for law and order, but they're all against, the policies of creating Again, you know, humanitarian policies, and not only humanitarian policies, but also going back to law and order and creating a positive message to the world. And it is called the Uniparty, you know, and this is actually, it is not a lie. It is a reality. It is a reality what the United States is going through. It is being infiltrated by all sides. It's not only just call it by the Democrats. It's not only by, it's because of the Democrats. It's because of the Democrats. No, to all those people that saying because of the Democrats, Democrats, Democrats. Yes, entirely it is them. But also there's a huge group of Republicans that are not doing anything at all, that they're comfortable and just that they're waiting for their moment to just come to rise and do something. And also, not only is the Uniparty, but all these neocons, all these people, all these elitists, all these globalists, all these people in power, that they're managing these two parties, and they're, you know, they're basically telling them what to do. So for me to tell you right now with clarity, in the epicenter, standing right here, and tell you this is the reality of, you know, they're basically they're basically going to comply with what they're saying, is really difficult for me to say that. But on a positive note, you know, it looks like they are going to try to do something. And if they're going to try to do something, is to educate the population, the migrant population, for them to understand that there is a law and there is a process for them to migrate, and ultimately that this process and this law needs to be respected. Is it too late? Yes, it's absolutely too late. The damage has been done. Yes, the damage has been done. The collateral damage that the Biden administration has done to the whole world, is it aggravated? Yes, it is extremely aggravating. Is it completely depressive what they have done? Yes, it has been. Is it completely inhuman? Yes. Hundreds have died in the Central and South America. Hundreds have died in the Darien Gap. Hundreds have died in extortion and kidnap. Children have been consistently being trafficked and smuggled through every border. Is this going to increase the level of crime and the organized crime? Yes, it is. They came to an agreement and they talked about how they are going to combat the traffickers and the organized crime and the cartel? No, they did not speak about it. And that is the thing that it concerns me the most, that, you know, they're speaking about how they're going to contain the migrants, how they're going to contain them and not let them reach to certain particular points. But how about combating the organized crime and combating the cartel? That is the number one resource of contamination in our country of Mexico, and also now in the United States of America and inside of the territory of the United States of America. It's not only me. It's not only the cartel in Mexico. It's not only the organized crime in Mexico, and it's because of Mexico. And pointing the finger to Mexico, it's all, you know, what has been infiltrated inside of the United States of America, and then nobody's talking about it. So my point of view, this is what I believe. This is the way it looks. Let me just get off the camera for just 5 minutes. I got a hit right now with Real America's Voice News. This is how it looks. Let me just flip it to this side so you guys can see. On this side, it's released right here, the monopod. You guys can see it. This is the way it looks right now. So, thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. This is an update for every single one of you. It's hot. It's really hot. So I will be coming back later on this afternoon. The leader of the Caravan, Luis Villagrán, already gave out a statement, a public statement right here in front of all the migrants of what it has been released. In his words, this is what the activist, leader of humanitarian rights, Luis Villagrán, said. He said, this is a persecution against migrants. This is practically the government of Mexico kneeling down to what the United States says, and in negotiation to release or to release the blockage or the embargo against Cuba, because the Mexican president said that, and also to have negotiations with Maduro. One of the things that I agree with the leader of the Caravan is that you can negotiate with dictators. And he said it on a public statement. And that is referencing to Nicolás Maduro, or what he has done to his country and to his land and to his people. You don't negotiate with dictators. You don't negotiate with the dictator of Nicaragua, with the dictator of Venezuela, with the dictator of Cuba. You don't negotiate with leftist progressive communists and communist individuals that are trying to bring communism into a capitalist country. You don't negotiate with them. And that is what the Mexican president is doing, telling the United States, you need to sit down and talk. You don't talk with these people. These people are inhuman. These people are criminals. These people have, because of their system and their economical system, they have assassinated so many of their own countrymen. You don't negotiate with those individuals. When has the United States this is the first time it is shocking, and it is completely shocking that this is the first administration in history that has sit down and negotiated with terrorists, that has negotiated and talked with communist dictators. You have to be freaking kidding me. When has the United States turned into this? The United States of America does not negotiate with terrorists and does not sit down with dictators and communists. As a matter of fact, they completely take care of the problem. That's why they're the leaders of the free world. But nowadays, I can tell you, I have never seen this in the history of the United States. It's the first time that I see it like this. God bless you all. I have to go on the War Room. Follow the War Room. I will be right now with Mr. Steve Bannon live in the War Room. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, God's plan is our mission.